Have you ever looked at a movie and wondered exactly how this movie got made? That's exactly how I felt when I watched the trailer for Dear Santa, because I honestly don't know who this movie was made for. It definitely wasn't made for the youngsters, and it definitely wasn't made for the family that likes to gather around and watch Christmas movie together. I honestly don't know why this movie got made, but here we are. I was a little bit morbidly curious about what this movie could have been, and well, it's honestly not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's actually way worse than I thought it was going to be. Way worse. So the film revolves around a kid that writes a letter to Santa, except he has dyslexia and he makes it out to Satan. And long and behold, Jack Black shows up as Satan and lets the boy grant 3 wishes before he takes his soul to hell. Now, on the bones of this movie, I think there could have been a half decent little movie. Because on the bones of this movie is you have a family that has gone through a loss. And I think you could have done something in here to make that a little bit more palatable and a little bit more charming. But if you write down every cliche that you can think of, I guarantee you that 9 out of 10 of those cliches are in this movie. Think about every bottom of the barrel joke that you can think of, and it's going to be infused in this movie because that's exactly what this movie is. You got poop humor, you got childish humor, all those humors that I'm not really the biggest fan of. And I feel like if you strapped an R rating to this movie, you could have pushed the boundaries just a little bit further with that rating when it came down to the humor of this movie, because the humor in here is non-existent. This is coming to us from one of the directors of Dumb and Dumber, and you can definitely tell. If you've seen any of the Farley brother movies, then you know exactly what kind of humor you're going to be expecting going into this movie. And they doubled down on it, and it's basically nothing charming about this movie. You have Jack Black that shows up as Satan, and it's just Jack Black playing Jack Black. They don't really give him enough to do. They make him dance around at a Post Malone concert, and when you find out the reveal of Satan and what he actually is, it makes the movie just feel non-equivalent, and it feels like they just threw that in so that people don't complain when they watch this movie on streaming. There are times when I get mad when a movie goes straight to streaming because I like going to the movies. I like going out and being able to see a movie on the big screen. But this is one of those times when I was so happy that I didn't have to go down to the movies to check this movie out and regret my life decisions. No, what I did instead was I laid in bed, watched this movie on Paramount Plus, and regretted my life decisions right after that. I honestly don't know, even coming out of this movie, who this movie was tailor-made for. The ending of this movie feels like a gigantic cop-out, because when you get to the end of this movie, you find out that Jack Black playing Satan is not actually Satan. He's just a low-level demon that just somehow miraculously just showed up pretending to be Satan. And I feel like they threw that in there. They knew the backlash that they were going to be getting with this movie. Even if you look at the comment section for the trailer of this movie, you'll see a lot of people complaining about this movie before they even saw the movie. And so when you find out that Satan in this movie is not actually Satan, it just throws everything out of the water, because you have Satan that grants this kid 3 wishes before he takes his soul to hell, and then at the end of the movie it's just like, oh, you know what, I'm not really Satan, so you know what, I can't take your soul to hell, my bad. That's what happens at the end of this movie. The 3 wishes that the kid makes is he wishes he could get the girl that he has a crush on. He fixes his friend's teeth because he's afraid of getting rejected by girls because of his teeth. And the last wish is bringing his brother back to life. Honestly, that would have been the number one fucking wish that he should have made in this movie, so we wouldn't have to go through 2 hours of this garbage. That is why this movie is frustrating and so baffling, because you're going on this journey with this kid, seeing the relationship that he has with his friend and his parents fighting, and he just wants the fighting to stop. Well, here's a thought, kid. Why don't you wish your brother to come back to life in the first fucking place so everything can go back to normal and you wouldn't have to waste your fucking time? Why aren't we just doing that? It's just so baffling, and it pisses me off, and it makes me so angry that this movie could have ended an hour and 40 minutes sooner, and we wouldn't have to go through this whole fucking jumble of mess. We wouldn't have to struggle through a lot of shit humor that we have in this movie. It's just so mind-boggling, baffling. I don't even know what the consistency was for this movie. Once we got to the ending of this movie, it just made me even more mad. It made me want to break my TV. That's how mad this movie made me. So yeah, this is a movie that you can just throw in the dumpster fire because it is just a waste of your fucking time. And if you watch this movie and you get some enjoyment, I am so happy for you, because I wish that I could have gotten some enjoyment out of this movie. But in the end of the day, it just infuriated me with just how stupid this movie is. It is an insult to people that love Christmas and probably go to church and don't go to church. Those are my thoughts on Dear Santa. Have you guys checked it out? Did you enjoy it a little bit more than I did, or did you just hate this movie on a wild degree? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys for the next video.